will not spend time behind bars for their roles in the deaths of two boys at Letchworth State Park last summer.
They were both sentenced today to 5 years probation. News 4's Jen Shantz was in court. She joins us live from Warsaw right now. Jen?
Good evening to you, Don and Jackie. Yeah, this sentencing today follows a 5-month-long investigation and 2 guilty pleas of criminally negligent homicide that occurred back in February. As you mentioned, Tyler Jennings and Chad Staley will not spend any time behind bars, but as you mentioned, Don, both of them were sentenced to 5 years probation. All of this began back in June of 2016 when those 2 boys were at Letchworth. Those 2 men were at Letchworth State Park with 5 children, ages 5 to 12 years old. The men took the children to a restricted area of the park in order to see the lower falls up close. That's when they lost their footing due to a strong current and were swept over the falls. That's about a 70-foot drop. 2 of those children, 9-year-old Dylan and 6-year-old Preston Gia Gregorio, did not survive the fall. Their bodies were recovered a couple days after the incident. The DA for Wyoming County tells me this was never about jail time. In fact, the family of the boys who died asked for mercy from the court. The DA tells me ultimately he hopes more adults take into account the posted warning signs at state parks. This tragedy, he says, was completely avoidable. Judge Michael Moen and the defense echoed that sentiment in court today. Here's Chad Staley, one of the men who was sentenced.
I'm going to live with it for the rest of my life, and I pay for it on a daily basis, and I do apologize for what happened.
If these 2 individuals would have followed the rules and followed the signs that were clearly marked on the trails inside the Letchworth State Park, none of these children, including the ones that were injured, would have been injured or deceased.
Both men apologized to the families in court today. Tyler Jennings, who was the boy's uncle, was emotional and told the judge he sees his nephew's faces in his sleep and hears their last words. Now, the judge and the DA, also the defense, indicated that, again, today really was not about jail time or either one of these men. It was about those 2 boys who lost their lives, Dylan and Preston. Now, the maximum sentence that these 2 men could have faced was up to 4 years behind bars. Because they are given 5 years probation, they will be answering to their home counties, Ontario and Monroe County, respectively, to complete their probation sentence. Reporting live in Wyoming County, Jen Shantz, News 4 at 6. Don and Jackie.